glory
man.
days of boxing are over. Now we got a bunch of divas who just walk around and then don't fight anybody.
No, but like Jasmine Carter literally said, yeah, Trump need to start being Putin's hoe.
I mean, is his technology a little bit different from Elon's?
That's like, faith without works. You can sing, we can overcome. Okay, well, how are we gonna overcome?
Welcome back to The Blackness. I'm Brooks.
I'm Hendrix.
What are we talking about today? What are we getting into?
We get into some gangster shit. We're gonna talk about these terrorists, man, for your president that you voted for. What is he, 47?
First of all, I did not vote for Trump.
He's 47, right? Now he's 47?
45 and 47.
Yeah, 45. So now we talking about 47, your boy. The Orange Rage.
Yeah.
Orange Rage. But
what about him? What
Canada.
happened? Oh, the terrorists of
Terrorists
Canada?
of Canada,
Okay.
yeah. And then, we got, the fight, the rematch is set. I know you should be excited about that.
We'll see. I don't think that he's going to go through with that.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's set. And then we have something that I think is very outstanding. The first black-owned electric automobile company based out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
We definitely got to shout this.
There's always something good happening in Atlanta, it sounds like.
You know why? You know why?
Black excellence.
Not only that, but you know what? Atlanta is Wakanda.
Is Atlanta Wakanda? Let us know down below.
Yeah, they call that Wakanda.
And then we got to talk about Dr. Umar, of course.
Oh, yeah, you're the good buddy.
A lot of things have been going down with him. What's happening?
Hey, he's a man.
Sounds like he's a hotep. That's what people are calling him.
They call him hotep?
That's what people are saying.
Emphasis on the whole part? Let me stop. No disrespect, Dr. Umar. You out there doing your thing.
So we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive into it. Okay. So I got and I'm pulling this up from NBC News. So it says Canada backs down from 25% electricity surcharge after Trump threats. Ontario Premier Doug Ford had placed a 25% duty on electricity imported by the U.S. Trump responded by threatening to raise steel and aluminum prices. So I got a quick excerpt from NBC News, and I'm going to play this right now.
Gary, good to see you. So we're seeing a major escalation today in this economic feud with Canada. Canada, the largest trading partner of the United States. What is the latest on the tariffs right now, and what will it mean? What's the date for these tariffs to take place?
Well, Vicki, we were already expecting tariffs to go into effect tomorrow on steel and aluminum imports at a rate of 25%. The president's post a short time ago upping that number to 50% specifically for Canada. On aluminum alone, that could be hugely consequential. The U.S. imports the vast majority of the aluminum we bring into this country from Canada. It's something that's in everyday products that all Americans use. And it appears to be something of a presidential obsession this morning after comments from Ontario, the provincial premier there, saying that he was jacking up electricity rates for about 1.5 million Americans who get their power from Canada in places like New York, Minnesota, and Michigan. The premier, Doug Ford, was on MSNBC a short time ago saying his retaliation for these original tariffs is not going to end anytime soon either. Listen to what he had to say.
We will not back down. We will be relentless. I apologize to the American people that President Trump decided to have an unprovoked attack on our country, on families, on jobs, and it's unacceptable.
So, Vicki, you hear it there from the PM here that he basically...
All right, we kind of get what's happening there.
So, so it looks like people fighting back and they're not using these bully tactics, man. And it's almost... Well, actually, I'm kind of glad that they're saying things like, we know it's not the American people, it's Donald Trump. I guess, and I guess the reason why they would say that because presidents before didn't do these things, so they know it's him.
Not true, but go ahead.
I mean, tariffs like that on Canada. I mean, of course, everybody has tariffs in place, but using these type of boardroom bully tactics, it's only Trump. You know, that's Trump. So what you think about all these tariffs?
I mean, I think that if this was done by a different president, I think people would accept it and be more positively behind it. But I think it's because it's the Trump effect. You know, people don't really like Trump. I don't really like Trump. And I think that it clouds people's view because it is Trump. And they can look at this and be like, oh, well, you know, I can't believe that he's doing this. Like you said it's a bullying tactic. No, at the heart of it, he's trying to say, hey, listen, America, we have done so much for so many different countries for years. And now it's time for other countries to put in, you know? And yes, America is this, we're the policemen of the world, basically, right? And we do all these things for all these different countries. We help, you know, protect countries like Canada and all these other, against, you know, dictatorships like Putin and some of these other countries, okay? But, you know, it doesn't mean that we can't go out and say, okay, now it's time for us in a time when we, you know, we're not doing that well in America. We're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, you know, like there are people who, you know, are starving, people who are hungry out here. And so I think he's really trying to put these tariffs out to kind of help America. Now, again, his message and what he does is a little harsh, but I think at the heart of it, there's something that he's trying to do that's trying to dig deeper here. But anyways, go ahead.
I think I get what you're saying because they don't like Trump, but his base loves him. So you got a lot of people. I mean, I don't know what his approval rating look like now, but his base
It's pretty
loves him.
bad.
It's pretty bad. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think if it was another president, they'd know how to use decorum. Trump, I mean, he
Well, that's what I'm
doesn't
saying.
use decorum.
It's the
but then
it's
also
the
too,
messaging.
yes, also too, I don't think another president would be that aggressive with it. You know what I'm meaning? This way or else. You know, but I mean, and I think he even said that, you know, it's going to be a little bit when he did his address. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Meaning, yeah, I think we're going to end up, I don't know for sure, we may end up pushing us to a recession just to prove your point, and, you know, and not back down and say, you know, and who knows, I mean, maybe, I get it, he trying to help the American people to what extent. Yeah, you're trying to help them and this all for the betterment of America, and we get that. But in this process, you can hurt America too. Because at one point in time, Canada was saying, look, I'll shut down all electricity for New York, Michigan, and what's the other state? It's another northern state. I know it's New York and Michigan. 1.5 million people. You want them to be without electricity? So they're like, look, we can be bullies too. You know, we can fight back as well. And he may be helping the American people, but to what extent are you helping them? You may be hurting them more. You know, because I mean, grocery prices are still high, and that's what he ran on. Prices are gonna come down, which he shouldn't have never run on that, because there's no way he can make the prices come down like that, you know. But I just think if another president would have used a certain decorum about them versus, you know, the boardroom bully tactics.
Well, you know, I think that we just need to wait and see. Like before we like pounce, because you know there would have been more of a period of time. I mean, I felt like people were giving Biden grace right up until he dropped out. You know what I mean? They were like, okay, wait a minute, let's see what's going to happen and stuff like that. I mean, they damn near waited 4 years to actually criticize him, and some people still can't criticize Biden. You know, like, and you know, I was one of the main first people who was out there criticizing him. But that was because it had been 3 years and nothing had happened, and it looked like the state of the world had gotten worse under his presidency. And so if we're sitting here 3 years later and we're still going through these tariffs and nothing's happening and America's looking bad, I'm going to be one of the main people saying, get Trump out of there. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the way I feel about it. I mean, I've always been a person that has looked at things very objectively, and I get it. I have, in a lot of ways, I have the TDS too. I'm a never Trumper, you know, but at the same time, I go, okay, as long as, because my biggest problem with Biden was he made things worse, you know, as long as you're not making things worse, you know, I'm okay with you. But go ahead.
So, where
What I don't-
where were you in like '08,
Mm-hmm.
like '09, '08, 2010? Where were you around that time?
What do you mean?
Were you?
I was in California.
You was in
What do you
California. How old were you working?
mean? No, I was young. I
You was young, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have been 13, 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Reason why I say that, for you seeing Biden's administration, you call that the worst. You was an adult during an actual recession after Bush administration, who really effed up the economy, and then Obama had to come and try to straighten that out, you know. It was, you talking about jobs were gone. I mean, gone.
Oh, I know.
I got laid off, and I was working at Department of State. And
Yeah.
I got laid off.
Listen, just because I was a youngin' at that time doesn't mean that it didn't affect
Yeah.
me. Let me tell you something. My parents lost their home.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
then you know.
They-
But trust me,
yeah.
that
I'm just
was
letting-
worse.
I'm just letting you know.
But that's worse
Yeah, go ahead.
than what Biden. I'm not
Yeah, go
praising Biden's administration, you know. And honestly, I don't even think Biden didn't even really want to run for president. He's already up in age. And then they say you the only person who can beat Trump. I personally think they should have got someone who actually wanted to be there. I mean, you had plenty of candidates, and then when he got there, I think the ego got a part of him, and then he should have succeeded a long time ago. You know, his
Yeah, yeah.
cognitive skills were declining. But that's just what happens with age for some people.
Right.
Eventually, Trump, that's going to happen to Trump too. Trump seems sharper, and he ain't that much younger than Biden. But eventually, age is that's going to happen to Trump too eventually after a while. But I'm not praising Biden's administration by no means. Yeah, prices were high, but at least we still had a job. Things happened with your parents, and you felt it too because you were their child, but you were still a child. You didn't have to go out and pay bills like I did. You didn't have a kid like I had. So your parents, myself, it hit us way worse. You see what I'm saying? So not saying, like I said, not to say I'm praising Biden administration, but what Bush did to the economy, with that whole war that was BS and kept them over there for so long and constantly and drove us into a recession, you know. And then Obama had to come and try to turn around. And then the same Republicans were like, I mean, granted, could Obama do some more things? I totally agree with that. But then I heard him say that, you know, he had a lot of pushback because they didn't have the House and they didn't have the Senate. Then you had two Democrats who were really Republicans, and they're going against everything, right? So, okay, so I give some leeway on that. But then he inherited a effed up economy because of the Bush administration, you know. And then now, when he tried to get it somewhat civilized, even though we was losing jobs left and right. And then Trump comes in, and then now, you know, with the same economy, and then says, oh, Obama this and Obama that, this and that and the third. The same way he's doing with Biden in this administration. Like, I'm not praising the administration. Yeah, prices went up, because I think the biggest thing, if he didn't give Ukraine all that damn money, I think we'd have sort of been somewhat
Well, if
better.
he was able to make sure that we didn't get into that war, you know, I mean, that was a bad war to get into.
It was. I would have stayed out of it.
Both of the wars, and then the way that he ended the war. You know, a lot of people forget, but he was talking about that was a success. 13 troops under the age of 25 got killed in Afghanistan when they were trying to get out of there.
Oh, and he said that was a success.
Was it again? I can't remember exactly where it was, but yeah, he said it was a success, which is a joke.
Well, you got to
But
realize too.
Not Afghanistan.
They
I think it was
speak
Iraq.
in. No, Iraq war was with Bush.
Oh yeah. So
and you lost way more people in that war.
Mm-hmm.
So they looking at. Granted, this it sound heinous and it's messed up, but in the war.
But he said no. He said it was a success, and then he got on the debate stage and said that like those people didn't like nobody had died under his administration. It's just a slap in the face.
Nobody did die. Somebody did die.
He said it under his administration.
Under Biden's administration?
Yes.
Oh.
Biden said that. Under his administration, no troops died.
But some troops did die.
Yes.
Even one casualty is bad.
So yeah.
But you know,
anyways.
as far as military status, they look at it as, you know, when you got this war in Afghanistan that been going on for so many years, and troops literally saying, we don't know why we here. We already got Osama bin Laden. Why are we still here? Because they tore up the country so bad. So that
Yeah, but you know, I think what I would have, because a lot of people have been talking about the tariffs. A lot of people have been, harping on the tariffs and all of that stuff. But a lot of people don't know that we used to do tariffs.
No,
before we
tariffs.
started getting taxed, before we started taxing the American people, the country ran off of tariffs. Okay? And so, like, people need to go and research that. They need to go look that stuff up.
There was always
and
tariffs.
so it's just, I mean, listen, I don't think it's going to work, because there's no evidence right now that it can work in today's world, the tariff thing.
And that's what I
right?
wanted to ask you. How you think
Because
the economy going to be?
in today's world, it's a totally different world than the 1800s and, the late, 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
And so there's no evidence that the tariffs will work. But at the same time, if tariffs were so bad, why are these other countries? Because you remember, they've been telling us for months about how the tariffs, you're really taxing your own people and all this other stuff if you do the tariffs. It's like, well, how come all these countries are now doing tariffs on America if it's so bad? I mean, that's the way I look at it. But
what I think is you misunderstanding. There's always with tariffs. They have a tariff with Canada. He just wants to increase them.
I know.
The increase.
But a lot of
the
people don't
tariffs.
tell you that Biden
There's always
kept
tariffs in place. Yeah.
Biden kept the tariffs.
Yeah, every president.
Okay.
There's tariffs in place before every president.
I'm just saying, let's be objective here.
No, what it is tariffs is a way of like a bartering type thing.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just wants to increase what's already already set there. He just wants to increase it.
Why does he want to do
He
that?
wants to. He feels that he's saying that it's time for them to. Well, I guess he feels they owe a debt to America and they want to pay. And granted, I don't know. I don't know that deep in detail. And trust me, the government won't tell you everything. All we know is what we know. They're not going to tell you everything.
Do you think that we're going to go into a recession?
It's possible. It's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you think this will help? You think this will help the economy? What he's doing?
I mean, right now the stock market is
You saw that, right?
plummeting. It's like,
oh my God,
it already looks like we're in a recession.
It's
but
terrible.
really, if you look at the economy, the last few years under Biden, they've been propping it up. I mean, they've been doing little things in order to keep the economy going, to make it seem like there wasn't a recession. And I remember maybe a couple of years ago, they said technically we are in a recession, but they changed the definition of what a recession was during the Biden administration. You can go look this up. You can go look at what the definition of a recession is, and how they changed it. And it's been propped up for way too long and making it seem like everything was good when really we've been in a recession for a while now. But go ahead.
But you know what? I'm not surprised they make it. Everybody made everything seem like it's good. Every administration do that. They debunk Trump when he says, "Oh, this, that, and that," and they go back, "Nope, this isn't true."
Yeah.
When Obama was in office, when we was in a real recession, they even put out that, "Oh, the job market come back," and that was a lie. That's not true, because I applied for jobs, and then by law they have to put jobs out publicly, but they aren't really hiring, right? They wouldn't really hire. Oh, most of the time what they do, we hire in-house first, because it saves money on training this person, kind of know this person get the promotion, right? Versus we got to put it out publicly. By law, they got to put it out publicly. So they make it look like jobs is coming back. And this is during Obama administration. But jobs weren't there. Trust me, I know jobs just weren't there. Every president make the economy, make it look like the economy is doing better than what it is. But if we were in a recession, trust me, it wasn't nothing like how when I was working. Now, granted, gas prices was high, but I don't complain, because at the end of the day, you stand at the pump and get mad, you still need gas regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I don't complain about things like that. But trust me, during the Obama administration, it was way worse. And then, of course, with Trump's administration, his first administration, then we had the pandemic. So, and we lost millions of people because I think they fumbled the bag on that. Who knows? Maybe, I think, honestly, if Trump would have did better with that pandemic, he probably would have won A second term.
Oh yeah, the pandemic definitely took him out.
Probably would have won a second term.
But I was thinking because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of Trump. And
You
I'm
are?
tired of like
We need the
hearing
comedy,
about him.
man. We
I'm
need the
tired of
comedy.
talking about him, and really, we probably should have just let him win that last election,
So he can go
So
away.
it could have been over by now. I mean, really, let's be honest, it would have been over by now.
But dude, we got great content.
But yeah, true. But I mean, like at the
But
same
nah,
time,
I get
it's
what you're
like
saying. I get what you're saying.
because he's now, instead of us having 8 years and he's gone,
Yeah.
we have 12 years now. 12 years of
Pretty
Trump.
much, yeah.
So
Because even when he wasn't off, he was still
yes,
there.
yes.
They said that dude was
They
still
were
campaigning.
prosecuting him, everything.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
I mean, we've really gotten those 12 years of Trump.
And I won't lie, and I'm sure a lot of you agree. Dude, I was a big fan of The Apprentice.
Oh, okay.
You ever watched it?
It's on Amazon right now.
Dude, I love this because it deals in business. That's my first degree in things in business.
Right.
So it deals in business. I was a big fan because I remember when he got the first administration, they said he would always ask them, "Oh, so how is Schwarzenegger doing in The Apprentice? Oh, he's nothing like me." He kept asking about The Apprentice and things like that, So I was like, man, maybe that's where he really needs to be because he killed in The Apprentice. It was when he used regular people and the Celebrity Apprentice. I mean, he killed, man. He killed in the boardroom with that.
As we look towards 2028, who sticks out to you? As far as Democrats go, as a candidate. I mean, you see Stephen A. talking about possibly doing it. You see a couple of other people saying things about them possibly doing it. Gavin Newsom he started his own podcast, and he's bringing on guests that are from the other side, and a lot of people are saying he's trying to, play both sides in that way so that he can run in 2028. But
who I see, man, of course, everybody mentioned AOC, false Democrat, or Jasmine Crockett. You need. I think these women, they don't cower, like Jasmine Crockett literally said, yeah, Trump need to start being Putin's hoe. You need stuff like that. Look at Trump. I mean, is the language of politics dead? Trump will speak the same way you will speak to a regular person. It's funny, but it's not funny. But I kind of understand where Trump was coming from. When the airplane crashed and the people was in that.
I know.
I know. He was like, "What I'm gonna go down there for? I'm gonna go swimming. I don't swim. What I need to go to the site for?"
Yeah.
And I say, granted, now me personally, if I was president, I would go just to show unity and
exactly
for the American people. But at the same time, what Trump would do what Trump would do.
Yeah.
What I need to go there for? I don't swim.
I don't know if the Democrats are going to be able to find
pull it off
a person that's like
why?
So,
You know why you're right?
Yeah.
You know why you're right? Because the people who they should put, they won't do that.
Exactly.
They will not do that. They will cower.
Yeah.
They will not put the AOC, somebody who would give them that pushback and put that and light that fire. And they ain't gonna do that, man. They're not gonna do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Republicans get back in office again, or if Trump just stays in office. Yeah. I don't think the Democrats.
All right. Yeah. We should move on.
Yeah. Come on. So the fight. You say you didn't watch the fight, right?
I didn't watch the fight.
Oh man. So the big controversy was the draw, and everybody was talking about. Oh, for all you didn't see the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. So the controversial draw. So if the ref would have count that knockdown, and when Gervonta voluntarily took a knee, even though he wasn't hurt, but still, if he'd have counted as a 10-8 round, then Gervonta would have won by I think he would have probably got either, if not a unanimous, maybe a split decision. No, I mean, I'm sorry, Lamont Roach would have won by a split decision, or not a unanimous decision. So on KO, it says promoter reveals Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. rematch is a done deal. The rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. could be set for later this year. First, it was kind of iffy, and people were saying that the judges may go back and overturn the ruling of being a draw. But me personally, I didn't think they would do it. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Not saying they can't,
They
but I think
should've.
it would go back, right?
They should have.
So, says Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. may be stepping back into the ring sooner rather than later. Roach Jr.'s promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized.
That's all BS. This fight's not going to happen. Boxing does not give people the fights that they want. And this fight will not happen. You can have me on record. I am telling you right now. They will not let it happen again because Gervonta Davis is cut from the same cloth as a Mayweather. Okay? And he just saw that, oh, shoot, I almost just lost. And he should have lost. And this fight will not happen. This is posturing. That's really what it is. They're acting like, oh, yeah, we're going to act like we're going to put our hat in the ring because we ain't scared. We ain't scared, but they scared, and they ain't going to fight him.
Which one? Who is scared?
Because Lamont Roach showed that he could stand up to Gervonta Davis, and, he won that fight, and they should have gave it to him. But boxing is so convoluted. It's so fake. It's such a... I mean, listen, it's rigged at this point when you can't call a knockdown when it's clearly a knockdown, okay?
That's on the
You're
ref.
rigged.
That's
no,
on the
but
ref.
it's the whole system. It's the whole
on the ref.
system. We never get the fights that we want. I've been used to it, okay? Since I was a kid, I've been a part of the boxing that people don't want to be a part of, really. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The glory days of boxing are over. And now you have these people who posture up and act like they're doing something, and they can claim a 50-0 record and all this other crap because they don't fight against people until it's too late. So, that's the thing.
I mean, so who's a fight that you want to see?
I mean, listen, we need to see these fighters go at it. One, we should have saw Gervonta Davis versus Garcia again, and this time at Garcia's weight. But they're not going to let that happen.
What is Garcia's weight? He's lightweight.
Yeah. But anyways, go ahead. What do you think about this?
I think the fight will happen. I think it will because they have a rematch clause. So I believe the fight will happen because it's not a stain, but it's like a little blemish on your record, right? When everybody's saying Gervonta Davis, some people saying that you lost that fight because of that voluntary knee, and some people think that Lamont Roach clearly beat you, so they got to do the rematch so you can you can solidify everything. You know what I mean? So you can say, look, okay, we had a draw. Now I'm going to step up in the squared circle, and we're going to settle this for once and for all. And I think they both can bring the A game. So the fight is definitely going to happen because I know Lamont Roach is actually pushing for this fight to happen. And they tried to not sue, but they tried to go to the Commission for Boxing to see if they can get it overturned or what have you. But they was like, nah, it's a no-go. Because you got to realize, too, Tank is the money. And this fight, by this rematch, and are we talking about this, it's going to be big. It's going to be. Because first, nobody was thinking about a Lamont Roach. It's going to happen.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Nobody was thinking about a Lamont Roach. But now, because of this happened, this is going to draw even more money and more eyes. Because now they're like, Tank knocking everybody out, stopping everybody. They finally said, dude, we got somebody who can stand in that toe-to-toe with him. Oh, yeah, they feel who won. Who can stand there, right? And so now they really want to see what's really going to happen.
I'm telling you, this fight will not happen. If this happens, it would completely surprise me. Boxing does not give you the fights.
So you need to give the audience. If it happens, what's something you're going to do for the audience? If it happens, what are you going to do?
But listen, it's not going to happen, so it's all good. If you got me on record, they will find a way. I'm saying it right now. They will find a way for that fight not to happen. You heard it here first on the Black Summit. Brooks told you. The Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach fight will not happen.
Okay, on the Black Summit, you got me, Hendricks here. If the fight happens, Brooks has to wear You gotta wear. I want you to put pigtails in your hair. He has to put pigtails in his hair, and then you gotta have on. I want you to wear a shirt.
The pink polo. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, you know, matter of fact, you can do a pink shirt and rather by pink tee, whatever, and we're gonna write on the pink shirt that I fumbled the bag, I lied, the fight did happen. But you gotta put. I want you to have some pigtails.
It's not gonna happen.
So I want you to have some pink ribbons. We're gonna put some pink ribbons in your hair. You can have on a pink shirt.
Just remember my credibility and my prediction skills.
No, you can have on a pink shirt, and we can have on a pink shirt. Hendrix told you so, and you're gonna have pink ribbons in your hair when this fight does happen. When it does happen, and it will happen. So who's a fight that you want to see? I tell you, who's a fight I want to see.
I want to see Garcia and Gervonta Davis.
You want to see that? Nah,
but I want to see.
People don't
I
want
to
that.
see Gervonta Davis come back to the weight of Garcia. Come up to the weight of Garcia.
What is Ryan Garcia's at?
I think
Ryan
he's
Garcia
like
got a fight coming up.
He's like 147, 150, somewhere around there.
I think Tank fights are like around 135,
130, yeah.
130, no, 135. He's just
and
that dude's like
he made
5'5".
Garcia come down to his weight. You know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he had to.
You can look it up.
Tank is he's the A side. Garcia was the B side.
Yeah.
Tank is the, and they always gonna do that to you. De La Hoya did it to Mayweather. No, you come up to my weight. You know what I'm saying? When Mayweather was the B side, De La Hoya was the A side. I want to see after this rematch. I wanted to see Tank fight either Shakur Stevens or a Devin Haney. I mean, we need that. Or I even take a Lomachenko. Even if Lomachenko
Isn't
fights.
he older?
Who?
Lomachenko? How old is he?
He's older than them, but it don't matter. Lomachenko is active. Okay. Lomachenko fought.
But he's not the same as, you know.
No, dude. Lomachenko nice.
Okay.
He's nice. He fought what's your boy? I just said his name. Devin Haney. He fought Devin Haney. I want to see Tank fight any one of these three dudes after Lamont Roach. Hopefully, because Tank was talking about retiring. So hopefully he at least fight one of these dudes before he retired, right? And I do want that fight. Well, you know Terrence Crawford is supposed to be fighting Canelo. I don't know how that's going to work out for Terrence Crawford. You come up to 167, super welter. You know what I'm saying? You coming up to, and Canelo's a bad boy now. The same welterweight, and no disrespect to Terrence Crawford, but I don't know, man. I mean, he got skill, but his last fight he fought, I think he fought at 154, and it looked like he kind of struggled to beat that dude. He won, but I'm like, this is Canelo. Don't get me wrong, Terrence got skills, but Canelo got skills
Canelo's
too.
another one of those people where it's just like everybody talks about how good he is and all this other
Canelo's
stuff.
good.
That's like, please.
Now I'm disappointed with Canelo because he
just
won't
don't fight
fight.
nobody.
He won't fight Benavidez.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see Canelo fight Benavidez.
All of these boxers, they just won't fight the
That's
good people.
what I want to see. He needs to fight Benavidez, man. You need to get more
The
in
glory
boxing, man.
days of boxing are over.
You need to.
Now we got a bunch of like divas who just walk around and posture up and then don't fight anybody.
No, but
So,
that's MMA.
no,
they do that in MMA.
MMA, they actually fight people. People
MMA.
actually, have blemishes.
That's
you know?
MMA.
The only person that's acting like a boxer because he became a boxer for a second was Conor McGregor. Now
can't
beat
beat a
all
boxer.
rich.
Yeah, he's
He
rich.
doesn't fight like the UFC fighters fight.
That man ain't trying to fight. That man, he done broke bread. Can you blame him?
But no, I can't.
You
because,
can't blame him.
But it was a great time when he was around, and it was a great time for UFC, and UFC is still top.
You can't.
But it's okay.
You can't blame him.
Y'all don't want to admit it.
Hey, that man. Think about it.
It's all right.
This man had to go to boxing to make the biggest bag he ever had. And look how long you fight MMA. Because Dana White, I hear, is taking all them boy money.
Well, just wait. Dana White just signed a deal that's going to end the regular boxing because he's going to actually give people the fights that they want to fight, that they want to see.
And MMA?
He signed a deal with the Saudi Arabians, and they're going to have a
they're gonna start
league
doing
that's going to
MMA?
compete with boxing, and boxing will finally be done with.
And see, that's
and we can
why,
get back to
You know
the
what?
real stuff and not this crazy stuff. Anyways,
what you
we've been
just
talking
said.
about this
No,
too long, but
real
go
quick,
ahead.
real
Yeah,
quick,
go ahead.
real quick.
30
We got a little
seconds.
time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Real quick, real quick. What you just said was a good point. You said with Saudi Arabia, now a lot of the fights are going because them dudes got money galore. So say if dudes won't fight, and I get it's all politics because they want the bigger bag. But dude in Saudi Arabia is like, look, if I want to see this fight, look at, if I'm gonna put up like, 30, 40, 50 million. So these dudes going to fight. They putting that money up behind them. So if the bag big, we gonna see the fights we want to see.
Yeah, we're
You know
gonna
what
see
I'm
the
saying?
real
That's all I got to
fights. We're
say.
not gonna get this.
No,
this
we gonna
weird
get those
stuff
fights.
that boxing wants to do,
We get those fights.
and that's why boxing ended.
Nah, we get these
Go ahead.
fights. All right, real quick. So check this out. So since we are the Black Summer, we had to touch on some black excellence out here, right?
Yep.
Unlike my boy Brooks, who's a Trumper.
Should we end with that? We should probably end with that story.
You want to end with that story?
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we could talk about Dr.
Go ahead.
Umar.
Yeah, you want to get to that. Go ahead. We end with that.
If we do like
We can end on a high note.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, talk about your boy.
all right, so Dr. Umar. Now this guy actually is my guy, and we found out that Dr. Umar actually has had multiple kids. His daughter came out on TikTok and basically called him out and said that he hasn't really been around, and it sounds like he's a deadbeat. And basically, Dr. Umar confirmed it. That,
Oh, really? He
that
did
he
confirm
wasn't. He confirmed that that's his daughter.
Oh, wow.
But he said that the mom needs to come out and talk, and he'll sit down with the both of them, and they'll talk about it. Which was surprising for a lot of people, like you just said. That he had a kid that he wasn't fathering, and so a lot of people are calling him a hotep, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things about Dr. Umar. But basically, it sounds like he had a kid and he wasn't really there for her. Now he paid the child support. It sounds like,
But he wasn't.
he
there
kept saying that
physically.
he has tons
wasn't
of.
present.
He called it white man paperwork. Yeah, he has tons of white man paperwork out there.
How many kids does he have?
It sounds like he has 2 daughters.
It's 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Dude, as a
And
father,
so-
you got in this climate, you got to be there for your daughters, man.
Yeah.
You have to be there for your daughters. I mean,
What do you think about that, Dr. Umar? What would you call him? Like almost like a black staple, always pro-black. He's always talking about how the fathers aren't there in the home.
right,
and all
right.
This other stuff.
Now, in my opinion, don't get me wrong. The message, what he's saying is, is still a good message about providing, taking care of your seed and being a upstanding black, black man in the community for your community and for your family, which I totally agree with. There's nothing wrong with the messaging, but sometimes people say you gotta if you talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk, you gotta lead by example. So people, of course, social media gonna discredit you now and say, dude, you telling us to be outstanding citizens,
Yes.
but yet you're not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then like my mom always say, what's done in the dark always gonna come to the light. And nowadays with social media, it take no time for nobody to go live and they say what's what, and everybody tapping in. I think he need to handle that, man. He got to handle that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he's a hypocrite, and he's been getting online and saying things about his daughter, basically calling her a struggle streamer and all kinds of stuff. I think ultimately the message shouldn't get lost.
No,
some of the things that he talks about.
That's what's going on.
Don't get me wrong. He says some stuff that's not. I don't agree with everything he has to say.
We know you
And
love
so-
white women.
Nah, that's you. But yeah, I mean, he has a lot of controversial statements. But to me, this really shows that in the black community, how starved we are for black men who are on the up and up, who are out here super
Looking
pro-black.
like a leader.
A leader, an organizer, somebody like him who, it sounded like he was building this school, but it's been years since, they've been building it for years and nothing's really been happening,
Have
right?
you donated to it?
And so I
you
think
brushed
that,
over that question.
I have donated to it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
and
okay,
so, somebody like that who's putting his money where his mouth is and actually trying to create change in the black community. And so it really shows us how starved we are for something like that. Dr. Umar meant that. Dr. Umar was that. And so for now, us to see that he's like basically a deadbeat dad, that's what people are saying, allegedly. Like he hasn't been around. He hasn't been in this woman's life. It's really sad to see. But also now it's like, another one falls, really. You know what I mean? Like somebody that we had maybe up here a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people used to listen to him just for the jokes, right? There's a lot of people who just listen to Dr. Umar because he had jokes. But there was a lot of people who like were listening to him because they felt like his message was there and what he had to say was profound. And, you know, he's trying to lift up these younger kids who haven't really heard something like that before. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, the message don't need to get lost. The message is still there. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, we all human. We don't necessarily, black people don't need a leader. We just need elites among us. And then we all be elite. We all know what to do. And I get it. Sometimes you need an encouraging word of inspiration, what is it, iron sharpen iron. And that's fine. We all need that sometimes, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's human. You know, like you said, he was paying a child support. And I'm not making no excuse or anything like that. And then we all don't know the backstory about, you know, what's the deal with the child's mother and the child. And,
Right.
you know, and things like
That's
that.
what he was saying.
So we all don't know. We all the speculation, and we just reporting on what we read.
You said something interesting. I think we do need black leaders. We do need people who can organize. That's the problem with the black community in today's world in 2025 is that we don't organize. Our platform, when we organize, the amount of power that we have is insurmountable. And that's been the real problem for the past 60, 70 years is that we haven't really organized the way that we used to, you know, when the civil rights movement was happening, when, you know, you had all those great movements, you know, in the 50s and the 60s. And we need to get back to that. I mean, like we were talking about the NCAACP. It's not what it used to be, you know, like, I mean, anyways, I'm not going to get into that discussion. But, you know, black people, we need to organize. We need to put things together. And maybe that just starts with, you know, somebody saying, hey, let's get a couple of people together and then grow this movement out, you know?
I mean, organize, fine. But like I said, like with organization back in the day, you know, there's no more blatant Jim Crow. There's no more desegregation and stuff like that. So black people, you know, so they kind of, we can live where we want and go where we, you know. So they're not all together, right? But far as leaders, that's why they'll say you just have elites among us, and then they show everybody else how to be elite.
What is Oprah doing for you?
Oprah?
You said elites.
Yeah.
I look at her as an elite.
Yeah, she's an elite.
What is she doing for the black community?
I don't know. What is she doing?
Exactly.
What is she doing?
Who are the elites? Who are you saying elites among us?
This is what I mean. This is what I mean.
All right, go for it.
Reason why I say that because sometimes when we as a people, when we have an elite people, some people it go to their head, some people it don't. So like when you got Malcolm and you had Martin, same dynamic, two different ways. So some people, they talking bad about Malcolm, they talking bad about Martin. So then we still divided. We all want the same common goal. We still divided. That's why I say we need to have a bunch of elites. And I don't know.
What do you mean by elites, though?
I mean like let's say if you were city council on a local level, right?
Okay.
And you at your level you help in your community, right? In your district. Let's say if I be city council, you know, on a local level we help each other, and then we making, like I said, iron sharpen iron. Like, Joe, Brooks, what resources you doing? And, you know, oh, man, you know, we got this. What about you? In my district, this is what we trying to do. You know, it's food desert, just for example. That's what I mean, stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
And people can see that the tangible things that we can actually touch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I think we kind of need more so as a people. Like when Black Panther was on the ground, that was very tangible, but the government shut that down. And all they were trying to do is give students free lunch.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to get back on the ground. People need to get together and organize the way that we used to. And, you know, I see a lot of stuff happening with the Target thing, right? You see the Target boycott that a lot of people are doing for 40 days. Yeah. You know, the only thing I don't really like about those is that they're putting a number on it. It's like, no, we should be boycotting indefinitely until they change their ways, right? I mean, that's really how you enact change is you say, okay, we're not shopping there until something changes.
Yeah.
You don't put a date on it. Now you're really telling them the script, you know, you know, you're kind of giving them a chance to say, okay, well, in 40 days, they're going to, one, I didn't even know black people shopped at Target, but you know, anyways.
Apparently they make like 12 million
Yeah.
just off black people alone. I don't know in what time span, but
You mean
I'm glad.
like 12 billion?
No, 12 million, like all their targets maybe in a day or something like that.
12 million
something,
a day?
Something
Okay.
like that just off of black consumers. So you know they got a lot of targets.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't kill me if the numbers ain't quite correct, but it's something I loosely heard.
Yeah.
But I'm glad at least they doing something other than the Democratic Party, you know, who stand there and saying we shall overcome. I mean them days are gone.
Yeah.
You can't. That's like, you know, faith without works. You can sing we can overcome. Okay, but how are we going to overcome? What are we actually doing? So I'm glad at least they're doing something. That then a march, you know, and there's nothing wrong with protesting. You know, that's totally fine. But march and sing we should overcome, that never really changed nothing. How you make change is when you hit them in their pocket. When you hit them in their pocket, that's when they'll listen to you.
Yeah. I saw that 1 day protest, and I mean, honestly, you know, it didn't really change anything, you know, and that's why, again, like you said, it hurts them in their pockets. Yeah. You just have to stop completely and say, we will not do this until, you know, but anyways.
But yeah, man, so that's that. So, no.
And I didn't mean any offense by what I said. I was like, I didn't know black people shopped at Target. Because, you know, I don't know.
You got some.
I shop at Walmart.
You shop at Walmart?
So,
see, they protest Walmart too.
You know, like if it's like, I mean, I probably go to Target like maybe once, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year.
I barely go to Target.
Yeah.
I barely go
maybe
to
2 or 3
Target.
times a year.
I barely go to Target. Not knocking Target. Target never really. I mean, I get it. You can get the same thing you need from Walmart that you can get from Target, you know.
Yeah,
but,
and it's cheaper at Walmart, I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
But they was on the DEI list too. So
Walmart was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm checking this out. We going with Afro Tech. So some good news about, like I said, what I was saying earlier. This is Black Summer, so we're gonna hop on a little bit of Black excellence. So so if some of you may know or you haven't known, so Derek W. Bailey is behind the first Black-owned electric vehicle manufacturer in the U.S. So Derek W. Bailey is a trailblazer in the automotive industry. He was inspired by C.R. Patterson, born into slavery in 1833. The National Museum of African American History and Culture reports little recollection of Patterson's life on the plantation, and it's unclear whether his freedom was purchased or he has escaped. Nonetheless, he became a free man and learned the blacksmith trade, which opened doors to carriage making. So Bailey is making his mark as the owner of Atlanta, Georgia-based Derek Automotive, which has various electric vehicles through its subsidiaries. The company is on mission to reduce global carbon emission. Its vehicles can even be charged as they are being driven. Wow, that's something new. So on the web, as the website mentions, there is no longer a need to rely solely on charging stations. Man, what are your thoughts? What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I mean, right now I see a lot of people selling their Teslas. A lot of people are in California. In California, they're actually changing the logo on the back of their cars, and they're putting like, instead of the Tesla T, they're putting like Honda, the H,
Oh, really?
and like some people are even putting the little side things, you know, on your car, like the LE or whatever. You know, they're even putting those on the car, trying to disguise their Teslas because they don't want anybody to know that they're driving a Tesla. Because, you know, Elon Musk has become so unpopular with him becoming, you know, head of Doge or whatever.
Doge. And isn't he dark MAGA?
Yeah, dark MAGA.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think we need an alternative. Yes. And it's great to see that something like this is coming out, where you can charge your battery as you're driving.
Yeah,
wow.
That's cool.
And, you know, it really solves a problem because, you know, a lot of people, their biggest problem with Teslas is that they aren't long range. Like you can't take it on a road trip, you know?
Yeah.
So it really solves that problem. And so it's cool to see that, you know, a black man is actually doing that too. So yeah.
That's real good, man. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. It's only like what 5 hours away from here. So and I'm not saying I wouldn't get an electric car. I've seen some actually like. So that I think that's a great feat, man. You know, black excellence. You know, at its finest, like you said, to be able to drive and stow charge it at the same time, man, and to give some pushback on you just don't have to only buy a Tesla. Of course, there's Japan. I'm thinking they was far ahead. They got They have plenty electric vehicles. I think even the Hummer or the GMC. Some of them they can crab crawl now, and some of the GMCs can drive by themselves. My thing is, I wonder, will he get some of them government contracts that Elon, or are they all just for him? Because Elon is now confirmed the head of Doge when they kept saying he wasn't, even though he's not appointed official. But I guess when you're the president, you can make executive order and do whatever you want to do. So I wonder, will Derek, what's his name? I don't want to mispronounce the brother's name.
Say his name.
His name is Derek W. Bailey.
Okay.
So I wonder, will he get some of these government contracts that Elon is getting?
He could. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, you know. I mean, is his technology a little bit different from Elon's, or is he using some of the same tech? Because I know a lot of companies are using similar, you know, technology to the Tesla.
Well, that's how it is.
So,
whoever gets the patent until that runs out, and then like with the iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. That's just how it is with patents. But yeah, I wonder what. So he has a quote. He said that and this is Derek W. Bailey saying. He said, "To me, all of the electric car brands, there's Tesla, and everything else is a Tesla too. To me, there are all Tesla 2s." He told Fox 5 Atlanta. So I certainly don't want to be a Tesla 13. So its product offering include Exceder, what is that? Exceder, or a logistic vehicle that will increase the driving team and lower operating costs. So he says our vision is to allow fleets to go electric effortlessly and be ahead of the inevitable rush to go electric. Exeter will help businesses to reduce costs on fuel, maintain higher profit margins, and add more convenience in their transition to electric drive. It's descriptive reads. So I wonder, does he have an IPO? I would love to invest if he's on the stock market. He has an IPO.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has an IPO.
Are you gonna buy one?
I would. I have to look at him and see what. Because you know,
I know now. I wouldn't really buy an electric car.
You don't have to now. But
I was thinking about the Tesla trucks, but then I saw them in person. I was like, I don't know about that.
My son said he liked that. Them things so big and now it's like it was the cool. You know, you would see the people on social media, the girls and the guys who flashy and who balling. Like I see a couple of Tesla trucks every day. Usually like an older white man driving them. But I see a few people on social media, they have the Tesla trucks, and they only come certain colors, and they done paint them blue and all kind of stuff like that. But that thing's so big and bulky. I never was into them, even before the whole Elon MAGA thing, you know. But what do you think? What are they trying to push for, like, the next, 40, 50 years, all the cars will be electric? Is that what they're trying to do?
See. I mean, I'll be surprised in a world like this that we would have all electric. I mean, California has power outages all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we're not really, you know, able to support it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
It'll be interesting.
I got an idea for that, but I got to figure out how to incorporate it into the vehicle. If I can get a patent on it and then maybe sell that technology. I just got to figure. I got an idea for that. But like you said, with power outages, because I was wondering are they charging. I thought they just plug up for free. You know, when you go out shopping and you see these things. I was at the outlet.
It's not free.
I saw that now. I saw it at the outlet.
But it's cheaper than gas.
Shell had it now where I guess you pay and then you. So what is it like? Say if you shopping, will you pay for about an hour or something like that? The charger for an hour. I wonder how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would wonder how that works.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know it's cheaper than gas. And
you don't think you ever get an electric car?
Me? I mean, I could see myself doing it. I just right now, I'm not really
right now.
into it. I think
Yeah,
I was
me
into it
neither.
when I was younger. I was like, oh yeah, get an electric car, blah 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 blah. But like now, I'm just not, and especially with Elon now, it's like he's
Yeah.
kind of out there.
He's
So
on your shit list.
he's not on my shit list. He's just kind of weird to me.
He is.
So
He's very weird. Very weird.
so
I know a person who own. Well, I don't know if they still own a Tesla, but from what I've heard, I think it was like either 2 or 3 batteries. You get the cheap battery, you only can go this far. You get this battery, you go,
Yeah.
And then the other. But I heard the batteries are like 5,000. I may be wrong. I don't know now. I'm sure if prices, I'm sure the battery gonna cost more now in the economy. So I heard the battery, you got to get certain battery, and you can go 300 miles or whatever, and then it go to the nearest charging station.
Yeah.
But if this guy, Derek Bailey, if he gives you the great battery off the gate, I don't know what he gonna do, but if he gives you a great battery, I think he should do that if he's not doing it to compete.
Yeah.
And they know, they're like, look, we buy your car, we already getting the top of the line battery, and maybe, it don't have to be as expensive as, if Elon battery is 5,000, maybe charge them $2,000 or 2,500, and cut some of the part 3,000 for that matter. Even if you did 4,000,
I'm just interested in the technology. If you can self-charge,
Yeah, that's that.
I mean, that
itself.
sounds very interesting. So
That in itself, man.
but we'll
That's
see.
great,
We'll see how long these ranges are on it. If
Yeah.
it gets up to like a road trip range, where you can drive,
That's
300-400 miles without stopping.
But you would think if you self-charging, I would imagine you can definitely go. You should be able to go at least, because even my vehicle, it'll tell me I can do about 350. Depends on the grade of fuel or where I go. Sometimes I can get all the way up to 400, a little over 420 maybe on a full tank, right? So even if you go 3+ on his battery and charge, that's still about standard for a regular gas-powered vehicle, right? But you would want to go a little bit further, especially if it's self-charging, man.
Yeah, because I think the Teslas can only do like 250, 300,
250,
something
300,
like that.
that's what I heard about that.
And so, but if you're in a good, car that can take you 500 miles,
imagine if
it's
you're
like,
driving in a Tesla from Cali to here, and you got nothing. You're going through Albuquerque and nothing but. Dude, what you
I
gonna
know
do?
exactly.
Bro?
Exactly.
I don't know how I would.
It's not safe for the road trips.
Maybe
so.
his car would be better when it's self-charged, and who knows? Maybe he might get 500 miles. To the, as it ain't the gallon, to the charge. I don't know whatever you would say.
Right.
But yeah, man. But yo. So, any closing thoughts, my guy?
No closing thoughts. Yeah, I think I said everything.
You said everything you wanted to say.
I just want to say I'm not a Trumper. You keep saying that. Stop telling people I'm a Trumper, because people are gonna start believing you. So I just want people to know that, I'm just an objective thinker, and I've always been a never Trumper, and I know people who are Trumpers, and they always say you're a never Trumper, and so it's true. But
I'm just a realist. Like I'm not a Trumper, but if Trump does something that I say, hey,
he's a
I
Kamala.
understand. I can understand. Or if Biden did something.
Yeah.
I'm just some things you're not going to agree with everybody. Nobody never agrees with every, and you can't please everybody either way.
I'm going for Bernie. That's what I'm going for.
Good luck with that.
He's too old though.
Way too old. Good. You better go for AOC or Jasmine Crawford.
I want AOC.
Oh, Jasmine.
I don't know if anybody's going to vote for her. So we'll see.
Yeah. See, that's the bad thing. But that's why the Democratic Party ain't going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But this has been the Black Summit. I am Hendrix.
And I'm Brooks.
And we are out. Peace.
Peace out.